Can something be complementary, offensive, and empowering all at the same time? Depending on your point of view, the issue of what's become known as the male gaze can be any of those things. Does an action heroine like Red Sonja become diminished due to having a large male following who strongly respond to her captivating appearance? Is she objectified by the male gaze? Before we proceed, let's clarify what exactly defines this polarizing issue of the male gaze. Basically, the male gaze refers to the notion that films are made from the perspective of heterosexual males, and therefore women are often depicted as objects for men to look at, rather than as individuals whose value is distinct from their physical attractiveness. Whether this is true or not, the subject is once again being debated. The latest battlefield on the matter of the male gaze involves the character of Red Sonja, a female action heroine created by Robert E. Howard in 1934 and later became an established character in Marvel Comics, beginning in 1973. The upcoming film adaptation of the red-haired warrior woman has renewed an old argument. In the comics, Red Sonja has become well known for her chainmail bikini. It's essentially become the signature look of the character. Interestingly, that look had never transferred to live action in her previous incarnations. Bridget Nielsen played her in the 1986 film Red Sonja, while Angelica Bridges portrayed her on the short-lived Conan the Adventurer TV series in 1997. Neither one wore the revealing chainmail outfit. A new film adaptation will be coming out later this year, starring Italian actress Matilda Lutz in the title role. Lutz has said, "This film will differ in tone from the male gaze of the comics." Apparently, however, this newest version of Red Sonja will be wearing the iconic costume. Regarding the trademark chainmail, Lutz said in an interview, "What I love about it is that the bikini is used in a completely different way from the comics, so I'm excited to see what the audience is going to think." Bikini or not, is it problematic for a female character to be shown in a sexualized way? Many on social media would say so. Or conversely, is female sexuality an uplifting thing? After all, there is nothing more beautiful than a woman being entirely and unapologetically herself. Some women consider their beauty empowering. Marilyn Monroe once said, "I don't mind living in a man's world as long as I can be a woman in it." Arguments over what is appropriate for women in movies and television has gone on for decades. For example, in the classic TV sitcom I Dream of Jeannie, which ran from 1965 to 1970, beautiful series star Barbara Eden was told to cover her midsection because her bare navel was considered too arousing for the general public to see. In the years since, Eden has laughed at how prudish that decision was. However, when Carrie Fisher wore her now iconic harem girl outfit in 1983's The Return of the Jedi, many said it was demeaning and insulting for Fisher to subject herself to the male gaze that way. When Fisher passed away in 2016, comedian Steve Martin said she was the most beautiful and intelligent woman he knew. He was then subsequently berated online by people who argued that mentioning her physical beauty was misogyny. So, is this thing called the male gaze misogyny? Or is it a sincere tribute? Or is it a valuable power that women can leverage? In the 1963 cinematic epic Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor, based on the life of the famous Egyptian queen, we see the story of a woman who was not adverse to using her looks and sexuality to manipulate the men in her life and retain her hold on Egypt in the face of internal and external threats. She was smart enough to use every gift she had available to her, including her physical beauty, to help overcome all obstacles. In the comics, Red Sonja herself once said that she displays so much skin because it distracts her male opponents. Lara Croft of the Tomb Raider franchise holds the Guinness World Record as the best-selling video game heroine and was played by Angelina Jolie in the 2001 film version and its 2003 sequel. Alicia Vikander portrayed her in the 2018 movie adaptation. As well as becoming a cultural icon, Lara Croft also became the first sex symbol of the gaming world, which helped the character's popularity. However, some have taken umbrage at Croft's buxom design and use of her sex appeal as a marketing strategy. Australian feminist scholar Germaine Greer criticized Lara Croft as simply being a male fantasy figure. On the other hand, 40% of gamers who play Tomb Raider are female, proving that women like the character as well. PlayStation Magazine wrote that Croft could be seen as either a role model for young girls or as the embodiment of a male adolescent fantasy. The dichotomy of Lara Croft is that while she is derided for her unattainable body type, she is also recognized as a groundbreaking female video game protagonist who brought girl power to the gaming world. Red Sonja, much like Lara Croft, is a fun and exciting female character, embodying an emancipated, formidable, smart woman who also happens to be beautiful. Does the male gaze make her any less so?